everybody, welcome to Bish's RV, hanging out today in Coldwater, Michigan at my hometown store with a Freedom Express floor plan that you may have seen something like this before, but almost exclusively in 3/4 ton towable fifth wheel bunkhouses. What they basically did here is they said, what if we took a very popular floor plan? It's got big double over double bunks, but private, not like open where the bunks are just staring in the living room, where like if somebody's sleeping on them, you feel like you're just looking at each other breathing, which is weird, you know? But they also gave us a very, very private front bedroom with the true queen that has one of the coolest easy lift storage systems you're gonna find out there. This is taller inside than the average travel trailer. It is also carpetless and ventless, so it's easy to keep clean. And with all the aluminum work, with all the things they've done on this, the double Azdel walls, they've got this thing down to only 6,900 pounds dry weight, given its size. That is really, really, really lightweight. Now, if you're in flatland southern Michigan like me, where the weather's pretty mild and we don't have big hills and valleys, this would be fine for a heavy half-ton, although the length does give me concern in that regard. That's why I say it in moderate terrain. Now, if you're like from the windy states, or you're going up and down mountains, yeah, you're going to want a 3/4 ton, and frankly, I think a 3/4 ton's a good, safe general recommendation. And telling you things like that, giving you the good with the bad, safety information, that's what you're going to get in our video here today. This one has a very interesting kind of walk-through bathroom up by the bedroom. Some people aren't going to like that, because if the bathroom's in use, yeah, you do cut off and lose the bedroom, but it does give you a much bigger bathroom. And the thing is, the living room in this one's fantastic. This is a bunkhouse that doesn't suck when you get there. Like if you're stuck inside on a rainy day, this is awesome. It's got a good little camp kitchen, heated belly, tire pressure monitoring, all sorts of fun things. And if you appreciate how we show you that up and down and in between, hit that subscribe button. Let's get rolling. And I wasn't really sure where to start this one. I started thinking about it, and I think that by sitting right here in the theater seat and giving you the idea of like, what is this thing gonna look like when you're actually sat down in it using it? This feels like the best place to start to me, because it really highlights and I think focuses one of the best qualities of this floor plan. The entertainment center does not suck, and that is not something you can necessarily say about a lot of bunkhouse models. Now, the campsite window coverage kind of sucks. If you notice, you can sort of peek around the corner there. We will get a better look at the bunks in just a minute. First, I want to just kind of, complete the visual here. You may have noticed how they are not using floor vents, and they are using floor matching, well, slide flooring. I still struggle to find a good way to say that. But they really maximize their benefits very well in here. They have a taller ceiling, 3 inches taller sidewall than industry standard. It's 6'9" linear. It's, of course, vaulted outside. But they also build this with a taller slide face as well. The campsite window coverage, one of the things that is helping it is giving them, the fact that they gave us, rather, a full window in the entry door. It is privacy shade prepped. And I like that good size window over there coming off the kitchen. There's also those little details. Coachman's been doing this since the dawn of time, but keeping those little drawstrings on those fire code compliant metallic mini blinds right there, just keeping it up away from the countertop level, away from the burner, just little detail stuff like that makes just a lot of sense to me. We're looking at the standard single air outfit on this today, although that actually might be the 15,000 BTU upgrade. I need to check. I guess it doesn't matter. You need to check which one it has when you go shopping for the RV. I guess it doesn't matter which one it happens to have that I'm recording today. I believe this is one of the ones that's big enough you can actually put a second air on it as well. Now you have a light and a dark furniture tone on this. This is called Storm. The light one's called Cloud. And basically, you see the light colored piping on this? That's what Cloud looks like. So Cloud is very, very light. I would estimate that in a bunkhouse, you prefer the darker fabric tone over the lighter one. But actually, I would ask you, as we go through this video, leave me little comments. As I ask you questions, let me know the different kind of things you like and dislike, or what you might prefer. Like you notice, this is a fully free-floating table. And notice how they give you storage sliding panel access to that rear bench back there. That is the thing that very few brands actually do. And I bet it costs them almost nothing. I bet that's almost like a $0 difference, because you still have the same paneling there. It just moves now. Move bench, get out the way. Anyway, you got to be careful how you say that one with a little too much snap. Looking at the theater seat today, there's also a trifold sleeper sofa swaption. Similarly, we're looking at the 12-volt DC compressor fridge, which as a park camping Midwestern boy would, without a doubt, be my preference. We are also looking at an RV today that has their optional solar package, so if you're not always tethered to the park hookups, you can have some solid, reasonable, extended use and time of that thing. Now, looking back here, there's actually two sets of little secrets that go on basically with this pantry-tainment center. And why do I call it that? Well, first of all, TV can pivot around for some easy viewing. There's a little bit of storage above and below, but then that whole wall moves. I'm going to tell you a personal confession. Before I die, one of my bucket list items, I want to own a house with a secret passageway. Like a bookcase that moves or something like that. There's something so fun and whimsical about those whole wall slide open pantry-tainment centers. I just love the stupid things. I don't even know why. Sorry, I got way off topic. Anyway, you may have noticed the sink is not stainless anymore. And it's a very easy knee-jerk reaction to say, oh man, did they go to a cheap plastic sink? And no, they did not. They actually went to a better sink. It's called Stonecast. They actually used it for years, and then they moved away from it, and they said, you know what? We want to use that better sink again. So Stonecast, basically, it looks visibly on camera like plastic. When you see it in person, you can definitely tell it's not. But it's rated for like 500 degrees, and it won't rust. So like if you drop something in it, a stainless sink, a lot of times if you crack the candy-coated stainless shell, then it starts rusting. Apologies, I've got a phone alarm that went off right there, apparently. You won't have that problem here. Now, you may have noticed, too, sliding pocket privacy door to close this off. Very few double-over-double bunkhouses have anything like that. You may also notice, it's not big. They give you, like, a little step right there. I think that might be a good little timeout seat. But there's actually, like, some serious storage over here. And there is a closet hanging rack at the top of that. Now, if you notice, just beyond that, household and USB outlets for this upper bunk, and that little sticker is telling us we have 300-pound rated bunk. So basically, I think if you can fit up here, it'll hold you. Both of the bunks have a breeze window, and you might notice almost like a toy hauler kind of blackout snap-on. I think that's actually really brilliant, because if you want to block the light out, if you want privacy, those snap-ons, they get the job done better than anything. And if the kids are thrashing around at night or something like that, they don't stick out so far. They're not inclined to like get shredded up and ripped off the face of the RV. It's just sometimes smart little detail things like that making a big difference. And that's the thing that I love about Freedom Expresses. There's a lot of really cool RVs out there. There's a lot of different RVs that have a lot of cool different features. But Freedom Expresses, I think, are some of the best tuned for actual use by actual RVers. Not just something that's pretty in a brochure, not just something that takes a nice picture, but something that works so well when you actually get there. Now, as I was moving stuff around to like show you all the storage, there's a couple cool little pillows that you may have noticed have vanished from the footage. I don't know what I did with them, but it does come with a couple nice little pillows, which are fantastic for just smothering your husband at night when he starts snoring, ladies. Just saying. I'm sure they'll turn up. I don't know. Stuff always has a way of doing that. Anyway, remember, taller ceiling means taller shower. Something I can actually stand in here. And that, along with that 60 by 80 true queen bed that we're seeing in the background right there, those are two major factors that this one actually, this is a lighter weight brand of RV that is actually good for bigger, taller people. Now, that being said, I feel they kind of missed here a little bit, but I do believe it could be fixed. That toilet is super close. If you're a righty, it is tighty. I think that toilet could probably be pivoted a couple degrees to give you some elbow room to utilize them butt napkins, and I think you're going to be all good after that. Now, working our way up here... okay. Well, I've good news. I've located the pillows that I lost earlier. Apparently, I shoved them for some reason in the bathroom cabinet space just to get them out of the way. But hey, they are now serving a purpose of giving us a very good idea for what kind of bathroom cabinet space we have. Anyway, moving on, 60 by 80 true queen bed, as I mentioned before, and very private. But this is, again, a positive, negative kind of factor. Kind of funny to talk about private and bathrooms in relation to one another. But if that bathroom's in use, well, then the bedroom basically gets cut off. Taking a look at the storage here. The good news is that you have a toilet right next to the bedroom at night, which very few bunkhouse travel trailers have. This also has a shower and not a tub. So there's some factors on this that I think some folks might really, really like. And one of those, I think, is that easy lift vaulted bed storage system here. That is just such a cool, awesome thing. Not to mention the fact that you got the perfect place here to shove Aunt Edna when she croaks on the family trip. No Aunt Ednas were harmed in the filming of this video. Now, flipping around the other direction, you may notice I've also closed the slide so you can see what this thing looks like in traveling, rambling, gambling road mode, but also, just to get to see the rest of the room here instead of just the entry from the bathroom. TV hookups over there on the right-hand side, by the way. Now, with the slide closed, obviously it's really not a tricky thing to take a right-hand turn, right turn, Clyde, as I believe Clint Eastwood once said, and work your way over here into the front bedroom and the bathroom for a quick potty stop. Other than that, though, the trick with this floor plan is it's awesome at a destination. It's rough for travel stops. To get to the kitchen space, you have to do the butt scoop boogie, where you put your backside on that kitchen countertop right there and do a little spin 360 maneuver, or you can carefully do the Luke knee walker and crawl around the big peninsula. But that's kind of the trick with this one. Everything that makes it great when it gets there also kind of makes it a little challenging on the way. I'm just going to shoot you straight and let you know what is and what it ain't. Now, back to the topic of towing. This one, the weights absolutely read like it's going to be half-ton towable. But the thing to remember on this one is that it is long. And the longer the trailer, the more likely it is to push around a vehicle, especially a lighter physical weight half-ton as compared to a physically heavier 3/4 ton. Again, around southern Michigan, flat landing on very modest terrain where we don't get wicked winds or anything like that, half-tons would probably handle this thing just fine, provided they, met all the other capable specs. Generally speaking, though, I think 3/4 is a better, safer, generalized recommendation that should apply to pretty much anything. Black tank flush, outside utility shower. And this one, unfortunately, it does have, because the bathroom's all the way up here, this is going to be our bathroom black and gray. Back there by the rear stabilizer, you can kind of see it hanging down. It is going to be a 2-stage sewer outlet. Thankfully, none of it located under the slide outs. We have an enclosed and forced air heated belly. That starts people wondering the question, ooh, is it 4 seasons? No. It's not, and I'm not going to make something up just to try to make a sale real quick. I'll also tell you there's absolutely no RV that has any of these magic R40 R values that people just started pulling out of their backsides from thin air. But unless it's going to be super hard sub-freezing for a long time, this is going to be fine. So I guess the easiest way I can describe this, if you're going to be camping when there's snowflakes for an extended period, maybe not the right trailer for you. If that sounds like, well, that'd be too cold for me to camp anyway, then this is going to serve you just fine. It's actually an interesting thing with the Azdel layering in the sidewalls, and now they're double Azdel as of last year. It has a little bit better thermal resistance as compared to conventional Luan wood paneling. So that's one of the interesting factors there. Working our way back here, the entry door and the outside kitchen, all nicely enclosed, or maybe not enclosed, but covered by that power awning. It is also nice that the entry door can open all the way without cracking that awning arm sideways, because that's frankly one of the best ways to break those things. If you start bending them sideways, they ain't meant to go that way. They don't like to come back. Kind of like my Uncle Gary. He starts getting bent sideways, and Lord help us. Anyway, wide stance stability axles with tire pressure monitoring now standard. And speaking of Uncle Gary, we do have the little drunken Uncle leash latch / bottle opener. He starts opening the bottles, and then you tie him down, sport, like a wallaby, so he don't go running around on you. Over here, this has it's a small but very well equipped camp kitchen, because they kind of did a little bit of what Rockwood did here by including that little griddle and that little kind of, tong table. Ooh, I like that name. I might use that some more. The little tong table over here, so that you're expanding on what the whole camp kitchen is giving us. And this is one of the very few small, low-profile camp kitchens I see that actually still includes a real sink with a real drain. And we do have ourselves another of those utensil drawers. This one really handy for picnic time though, because remember that little insert can pop out of there. Now I am right next to the trailer beside me. Normally this would slide out further. There's little bullet latches to kind of keep it in place. I'm just sort of getting it out of the way a little bit so I can slide past. Then again, I could be not stupid and remember I could just cut the footage and then walk back here and start the footage again. But being smart, well, that's not why my wife married me. Neither here nor there. Under those bunks, they had a little chunk of space, so they created themselves the junk in the trunk storage pocket right there. And you see how these are still including a nice factory standard ladder to get us up to that fully walkable roof. Now, as long as we're looking up here, let's finish that out. Take a look. Now, this has been outfitted with their factory optional 175 watt solar package. That does also have a 30 amp charge controller. But if you're keeping score, you might have noticed I haven't found the charge. You haven't seen the charge controller. So where is that thing? Well, that's because it's basically squirreled away in a place that you can't see it. In that front storage compartment, that's where the actual charge controller is located. But it doesn't have a visual panel. You actually basically exclusively monitor it off your phone. I think the app, it's a free app. It's just like Solar app. I think it's just like a green icon with some leaves or something like that on it. But it's actually very straightforward. It'll just scan, it'll pick this thing up. Once you're hooked up, it's easy to find it the next time. And you can monitor a lot of stuff off that thing anytime, anywhere you happen to be, well, with your phone. Little random bit of trivia for you. The dog, that's Pete. Pete the Dalmatian. Also, their magnet holdbacks actually have a little catch. You have to manually disengage it to get that to drop down so it doesn't bop you on the head while you're digging out your griddle or your camp chairs or your whatever the case may be. Obviously, I think I've taken one too many shots to the head over the years, but neither here nor there. There's psychiatric assistance and Better Living Through Chemistry that might be able to assist me through that. I'm not sure. Regardless, I'll leave you a link in the video description where you can see where we have one of these parked and what we're asking on a given date, and let me know what you think about it. I've shared my ups and downs. I'd like to hear from you guys. What do you like? What do you dislike? What would you change given the opportunity? Till next time though, take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping everyone.